So here we are with the Otway. Let me show you how to open it. So firstly, there's a split pin here and a latch that we need to undo. That's step one. So down here we have 2 pins. So we need to take out the pin on each side, and then we need to remove this piece here. So to get that out, you may need to move it forward a little bit. 1 on each side. So now we need to just bring this forward, and it is on gas struts. And gently drop that down. And then those pins that we took out, we need to place them back in. So now we replace these in here. You may need to lift the tyre forward a little bit so that they'll slide in the hole. And there's 1 on each side. When opening up the camper, make sure your handbrake is on, stabiliser legs are down, and cargo rack is raised if you have one installed. To start, we are going to the front of the camper trailer, unhooking the winch and unwinding about 5 metres of winch strapping. Walk this strap over the camper to the rear. Make sure you have no twists in the strap. Attach the strap hook to the loop on the lid. Now you can unlatch the main lid latches on both sides. Once released, go to the front winch and begin to wind the camper open. This is where it is important to not have any twists in the strap, as they can get crushed in the winch. Because this camper is an ultralight model, you can manually open it, lifting the lid if you don't want to use the winch. Now we are going to open up the slide-out bed at the rear. Undo the pins holding the support arms against the back of the trailer and keep them in a safe place. Swing the support arms out of the way so the slide can easily come out. Unlock and undo the handle on both sides. Use the centre wide handle to pull the bed out. At first, you may need to give it a little bit of a tug to get it moving along. When it is about halfway out, you will feel a point of resistance when the slide doesn't want to come out any further. At this point, go to the base of the slide-out bed and raise the U-pole. You should be able to pull the slide out fully now. Underneath the bed, line up the support arms with the guide hole and twist to lock into place. Below the rear bed, raise up the support brace up just under the bed and lock it into place. When weight is on the bed, it will lower to touch the brace and be supported. Next, unfold the canvas from the rear bed and lift up the rear U-pole. This is on gas struts and will support itself once raised. Go around the rear bed and untuck all the canvas from the edges so it is hanging down over the sides. At the front bed, we now undo the securing strap and toss it out of the way so we can raise the U-pole. This one is also on gas struts and will support itself once upright. Pull the canvas over the corners of the bed and secure the Velcro underneath each corner. Back at the rear of the bed, we zip the tent canvas to the slide canvas. Then neaten it up so it is hanging nicely. Next, we will set up the interior poles so we can lower the step and enter the camper trailer. Starting at the front bed, we undo the cam locks, raise the U-pole and re-lock into place. With the middle U-pole, we repeat the process. Raise the U-pole and re-lock it into place. The canvas may seem saggy, but we will readjust everything at the end to tension it correctly. Move to the rear bed. Again, we raise the U-pole and re-lock it into place. And finally, we do the same again with the end U-pole. The next step is to insert our spreader poles, starting at the front bed. Make sure the cam locks are facing down when we put them in so that you can close them once extended. The first few times you use the C-clamps, they may be a little stiff, so you need to use a little extra pressure to clip them onto the U-poles. Moving to the poles over the seating area, again, we insert the spreader poles. Same as before, check the cam locks are facing down, extend the pole and lock it into place. At this point, the canvas can still look slack, but we will retension all the poles later to fix this. Lastly, we move to the rear bed and again, put the spreader poles in. If you want the alfresco panel open, make sure all the zips are undone and then fold the panel onto itself like a letter. Then roll it up and secure it with the loops and toggles. If you would rather have it closed, simply close up the 3 zips, ensuring the storage pouch is inside the cabin. To retension your poles, you need to have both sides of your alfresco, your door and all windows closed. Extend or retract the U-poles and spreader poles to fix any saggy areas. So let's just run through some final touches to get everything in place. The front corner, there's 2 flaps here with Velcro, so just take them underneath there. What this piece of Velcro here is, this is where the skirt attaches. That runs all the way down to the front, all the way across the trailer. We'll show you how that connects in another video, but that runs all the way through and that's what that's for. Here's our gas strut secure point that we used when we opened up, so just tuck that under there. And then another little holder under here, keep that together. Again, there's the line of the skirt. And then you have your door frame, so pop that into place. And then that'll run all the way through there. Then through here, here's the other side. That flap will probably be inside, but that comes over the front, and that's the further extension of the skirt. But this is also the other part that you need to zip onto this alfresco area. So that zips down there, and then there's another extension there of that skirt area. And then on this far corner here, we just bring that down. That will just hang on its own. And this again is another part of the annex. So this is the side wall. This is where the side wall will attach, and we'll show you that in another video when we put the annex on.